Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast where we speak about the importance of our mental health, of that inner world that is within each of us. And because that inner world is inside of us just from the very beginning of our lives, it also matters very much what we go through during our childhood. So our parents and the rest of our family really influences us a lot. So today, let me share with you 3 stories of parents and their behavior which I witnessed during the last few days. And I would call all this that the parents really miss the point. And it is so sad that the older ones, the adult people, miss the point. So if we miss the point, how children could know what is really important in life? So it is sad that we teach the small ones just confusion. We confuse them just from the very beginning of their lives. So they, unfortunately, will very probably, during their first years of life, they will miss the point as well as majority of adult people do even now. So here is the first story. I met a young couple, or perhaps not so young because they were in the midst of their 30s. They have a small child, and the only thing that the father was concerned with was how the baby looked like. So the baby had some very small spot on his face, so he was really immediately started to clean the small spot, even though it was really nothing. And then he was obsessed with how his hair looked and if it looks right or not, and about his clothes and so on. And I was watching it for a while, and then I was thinking, like, you missed the point. It really does not matter whether your child is a little bit dirty or if the clothes doesn't fit. It's fine. He will survive. It really doesn't matter. If you teach him during the time that what matters in life is only how you look like in front of other people, then you miss the point. You will not prolong his life or add to his happiness or health if he will follow this principle. Just look good, my boy. It's only what matters. If you teach this from the very beginning, then your child during the years will really have confusion between what is important and what's not, because the outer appearance is not important. Then let me share with you the second story. It was a couple of a grandma and her daughter, plus the small one, the grandchild. A little bit scared or a little bit lonely, but it was obvious that the child was happy. Even though being a little bit lonely and not sharing the time with other kids, she looked very happy. Yet the grandma was commanding the small one and saying, do this, do that, and come here, come there, and so on. And it was obvious that those grown-up women we're not so sure if it is right that the small one does not join the rest of other kids. So when the time will pass, this small one will have to fight a little bit with all those commands and restrictions which come from the adults, searching for the place where she can find her peace. And also, she may be not sure if it is right to spend time alone, because, the other people say spend the time with other kids. So, what is right, to be alone or with other kids? And here again, it can create a confusion. And even this is not important if you are in the center of people or if you are somewhere in your cozy corner. Important is your inner peace, the state which you share with yourself and then gradually with the rest of the world. So if you spend more time with people, or if you are obedient and do all what other people say you to do, you will not feel happier or prolong your life or be more healthy, because this doesn't matter. It's not what is important. And now let me share with you the last story. Again, it was a little boy, and compared to other kids around swimming pool, he was more eager to go in the water and to swim than other two small ones, and was throwing some water here and there. And his grandfather and parents praised him. That's great. That's great, because you are strong and you've got to be strong and show how strong you are in front of the other kids, and they are not so good because they don't go in the water. So is this really important, to be strong or to search for adventures? If you praise your child only because he tries something new, or he is like kind of a winner for sports or trying some sport, so only if he is good at something, then he is good for you. Is this really what matters? I don't think so. And if you show to the small one that fighting or winning is just what matters, he will then go through a very big confusion, because he will find during life that this is not the most important thing. But the confusion will be your fault, not his. And now, when we look at our own selves, we can ask a question: what kind of confusion and misconcepts put our parents in our own minds? What did they put into our thinking? In which way did they mislead us? So today, or in our early years, we went through the confusion of what's right or wrong, what we can and want, and what we should. So all this confusion comes from the adults, because they from the beginning show us the wrong path. Of course, they do not do this for purpose. They don't do it because they want to hurt us or they want to make us suffer later on. They do it because they don't know. They didn't find what's the most important and final goal of their life, so they just try what worked for them. But they don't know the solution. They don't know the answer for themselves. So if someone doesn't know, how can he teach you? So even though we love our parents, it's very good to remind ourselves from time to time that they don't know. And what they teach us is the best they can. But it doesn't really mean that this is the only truth there is. And how can you distinguish between what is leading to confusion and what is the real path and the real truth? It's very easy. And I already mentioned that during this podcast. It is what prolongs your life, gives you the power over it, and makes you free from all and everything, makes you to be real you, the God, nothing less. So it is the path of freedom. It is to be who you are, not who you should be or what they want you to be. So if you show the freedom to kids, and if you make them to understand that peace is more than victory, and that silence, inner silence, is more than physical power, then you are showing him or her the real good path. Everything else can lead to a big confusion sooner or later. So I hope this was good information for you in case you are a parent or you are preparing for having kids. And as well, because we all once were kids ourselves, so we can forgive and understand our parents that they made mistakes. Of course, they didn't do those mistakes to hurt us, but this was just because they didn't know the better or the real path. So now it's up to us to search, understand, and live what's really true and what's really leading us to eternal and eternal freedom, which is God in ourselves, and it means to know and to command our own mind and feelings. So the world will not be a difficult place for us, because it will not be the outer and the inner. It will be the inner world of ours to command all the outer. And this is the final victory. And this is what we all should learn and master. So thank you for listening again, and I wish you a great day.